Hey everyone, I'm Jennifer Schultz, your host of Elevate Your Style, and we are here about all about talking about showing up powerfully and inspiring change. And today we have a powerful influencer, one of my good friends, and just an amazing, incredible woman of excellence. So I'm going to read her bio, and then we'll get down to it where we will ask questions. So this is JoJo, and JoJo Romeo. Whether she's selling luxury real estate, harmonious homes through feng shui, which I'm excited to talk more about, or starring on Bravo's hit TV show, Real Estate Wars, JoJo Romeo is always inspired and always inspiring. She has such a charismatic and compassionate way about her. She's an entrepreneur who truly cares deeply about her clients, her family, her work, and her community. JoJo's love for all of her endeavors shines through and is a secret to her much success. So we welcome you, JoJo. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. That was great. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Well, I'm just honored, to have you here. So tell us a little bit more about you so the viewers know even just a little bit more tidbits about you.
Sure. Well, I'm a mom. And in fact, I'm a single mom with 5 kids. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a competitor. I'm an athlete. I'm a super passionate person. And, and I have a message. I'm super passionate about what I do. And, I have a message that I definitely want to get out there. And I want people to feel it and see it. And of course, they see it through my inspired action. And so, yeah, I'm excited to be here. First of all, thank you so much for having me. And I'm so excited to share my message.
Well, we're excited to hear from you. First of all, you're a single mom of 5 kids. I mean, a lot of people watching right now are thinking, wow, that's a lot, that's a lot right there. Yeah. And we just had Mother's Day, so happy Mother's Day.
Thank you.
And tell us what you do to manage the business along with being a single mom.
Mm-hmm. First of all, you have to lead by example. And so one of the things that I do and I try and teach my kids to do is start your day in gratitude and meditate. And so I have a coach, and she's constantly getting on me about, make sure that you meditate. Because I know when I don't do it, I feel it. And even if I'm pressed for time, if I don't do it, I start my day with it. And so it starts with devoting some time to yourself, right? And that is through meditation, right? And being in gratitude to whoever that is, if that's God, universe, or whoever that is. And so I stay in that place. I start my day there, and then try to do a little exercise. And so then I'm starting my day with in a great place. And then we can go and just do what you have to do. That's where, and then the hustle starts. And you say, go. And, with the kids, it's like, sure, that's a lot of responsibility, but I also lead by example. And I tell my kids, okay, you're pitching in, this is how we're going to do this. And everybody's on board. Everybody's on board. And so that's, you just do it. You just go, you just do it, make it happen.
Yeah, I love that. And I'm the same way with you, JoJo. I start every single morning with my quiet time, my prayer time. And if I don't do it I haven't done it in so long, but in the past when I haven't done it, I do find that my day just doesn't go as smoothly. It doesn't go as well. So I can completely relate to that. And I'm sure there's people out there watching that also can relate to when the hustle starts and then we go.
Yes.
And one of the things that I love, there's so many things I love about you. I'm like, where do I start? Okay, so I'm going to start with this. I love that you're authentic. I love that you're real, that you say it how it is. And I love that you are about creating the energy around you and the energy in your home. So share with our viewers a little bit more about that, creating that energy in our home so that we can truly show up powerfully once we leave the home.
Yeah. Thank you. It's a great question. So like you were saying, as far as being authentic and giving it to you straight, it's interesting because some people say, oh, JoJo's such a bulldog, but I give it to you straight. I'm totally honest, but I do it with the best intentions and like with a warm hug, right? Because we have a common goal, right? Even like people say in real estate, I'm a super shrewd negotiator, and and I'm direct, like with my clients about, this is how we need to shift the energy in your house. We create a vision. Now help me help you. Right. And so sometimes it's like this, but you know what? We're going to achieve that goal together. Yeah. So trust me. Right. So I'm going to give it to you straight. And then just know that I want this to be a win-win for everybody, whether it's buyer, seller, and me. So, and so as far as, in real estate, obviously, and going to that home, like I said, I find out, these aren't just addresses, these are people. And I think that's where it starts, right? Because people just think like, and I don't want to say all agents, but people in general think about real estate like, oh, let me get the listing, stick a sign up, and just wait for the phone calls to happen. That's not how I roll. I don't let life happen to me. I'm very intentional. And so the way I roll with that is I find out, what is your motivation, right? Because this is super important. Like, these are their homes. There's memories and broken dreams, and this is likely their their biggest asset, right? And so, and your home is where you create all those memories, where you raise your family. And so what is your intention? And then, so it's like, okay, now we want to sell it. Is it price? Is it, why are you relocating? And then we shift the energy in the house. So, because if you don't have the right mindset, right, and your home doesn't have the right energy into it, doesn't matter what we're going to do or where we price it, it's not going to sell. Right. And then nobody wins. Right. And so, and I use all the senses, and I use feng shui too. So immediately when you go into a home, like, it should feel like a warm hug. Right. And oftentimes, I'm sure all the viewers have gone into a home and they're like, I don't know what it is, but I don't feel good. I don't feel good in here. Right. And this is what people don't understand. Your home is your second skin. You take all that energy out the door with you. So when you go home, that's how you want it to feel. So it should smell good. And whether that's with, candles, essential oils, whatever that is, it should smell good. It should look good. It should be pleasing to the eye. A lot of people have sad artwork and clutter and things like that. And that just makes you feel bad, right? And drained, and it's heavy. And it should feel good. Like when you climb in your bed, it should be like that, or sit on the couch. It should, just everything should feel good as well. It's using all of the senses when you go into a home. And then of course there is some feng shui to it, right? So where you have the placement of things and things that you can do to help change the energy in the house. And then it's also getting to know that buyer or seller, like where their head's at. Because if you say that you want to sell your house, but actually internally you're like holding on and you really don't want to sell it because energetically it's not going to happen. It happens all the time. So I just recently had a case where a guy, he raised his son there by himself, and he had his house listed with a couple other agents. And I came in, and first of all I was like, okay, first of all, this place is a disaster. Like, we have to stage it. So we transformed the property in the way it looked. Right. But even then, when we first did that, it wasn't selling. And I was like, okay, James, like, what's going on here? Do you want to sell? So as we were staging, he's like, don't touch that. That was my son's, or don't, like, but that was, and I was like, like, you have to let go. And once I said, you need to mentally prepare yourself and see yourself moving out of here and creating a life in a different home before you can let go of this one. And so when he did that, then we sold it. We sold it like within a couple weeks. And so, it's so awesome to actually see things like that, like just transform. And then, so, basically, we feel it, we see it, and then we go and do it. Right. So you have to create the vision, set the intention, and then that's when the hustle starts. And then you just make it happen. So that's I think why I've become, I've sold 500 million since 2011, top producer. And, I do that because I'm passionate about what I do, and I'm intentional. You don't let it happen to you, you go and get it.
Yeah, I've seen you work. I've watched your show on Bravo, and you can. I mean, I know that I know you, but I can tell
Mhm.
on the show that you are very passionate about your clients, and you want
Mhm.
the best for them. It's not. You're not all about, okay, what's in it for JoJo. You're about giving back and what's in it for your client. So I do appreciate that about
Yeah.
you.
My mission, I mean, my mission is not commission.
Yeah.
It's, so it, of course it's a byproduct, and that's why I do it, right? I have to make a living, but it's not my mission. And and that's why a lot of the referral business comes, is because people see that I'm passionate, that I care, that I really care. And even if that, sometimes that means, Jennifer, sometimes that means walking away from a listing,
Yes.
because the energy, so, and you saw on the show where I actually fired Michael, and it was because that the way he was doing business was not in alignment with who I am, and that's all energy, right? That's all energy. And so sometimes that means firing your client or walking away from a deal. And because it's all about energy, and what you give is what you're going to attract.
That's a really good point. I know when I watched that, I was so proud of you. I'm like, yes, you did it.
Thanks.
I know even for me, when I produce my fashion shows and my fashion galas, I want to work with the right clients. And there has been a few times where I've had to say, the energy is not there. And I want this fashion show to be the best possible show out there for everyone involved.
Mhm.
So it does make a difference. And we do have to have the communities to say, no, this isn't the right mojo kind of thing.
Right.
Um, so for the people that might be watching right now who maybe they're not selling their house, but they know that maybe they can't sell right now, or maybe they need to wait for a couple more years, or whatever their situation might be, what advice would you give them in regards to just making sure their home is that good energy and feng shui so it feels strong and mighty?
Absolutely. And the like I said, it's not just about buying or selling your home, right? It is for everybody. And I highly recommend, there's a couple things you can do on your own. I mean, you could always hire a feng shui master and get them in there, but that tends to be a little bit expensive. But I think just creating the awareness of that, people don't understand that all the clutter in their house is affecting their life outside of their house. That, right? That the way it looks, the way it feels. So just be so intentional and so mindful about the way that you feel when you're in their house. Like even little things. I always recommend putting fresh flowers in a house, because you always want something living. Flowers always bring you joy, right? There's like happiness. And when it smells good, and when it looks good. And so, there's apps that you could look at as far as feng shui. My Tisha Morris, who is my feng shui master, she's the one who taught me. She has a book, and she also has an app. So, and she has a book called Mind, Body, Home. She just came out with another one, but Tisha Morris, if you Google her, she has a great app too. I would highly recommend that. But I think just knowing that it does affect your day. It's going to affect everything that you do. So be mindful of it.
I agree. Yes, it's so important. So it's not only where we live, but our living does affect, and like you said, when we go out for a business meeting, or we go to church, or wherever we're going. So
Totally.
really,
And it goes along with like meditating, right? Get your mind right? And this is your second skin. And it just putting implementing those things in your life, and it shines through when you walk out the door.
I love that.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, so I'm going to talk a little bit about the business as far as your business being an agent.
Uh-huh.
Tell us, what do you love most about being an agent and working in the Orange County area?
Like I said, this isn't just, a job, right? I'm super passionate. I mean, to help somebody find their dream home, like, oh my God, like it's awesome to watch, to witness, to see. It's great. Sometimes it's because of sad circumstances, why there is the, downsides, or empty nesters, or there's a death or a divorce or whatever. But every day is different. And every day in this business gives me the opportunity to inspire people, and to do exactly what I'm doing with you today, which is to give them little nuggets, right, that are going to help make positive changes in their life. Like I really want to create a little footprint, a little imprint on everybody's, life, so that they could say that they learned something positive from me, or I inspired them in some way. And literally almost every transaction that I've done, like I said, sometimes you get challenging people, but even like Michael on the show, or the negative people, I call them AFOGs, which is another freaking opportunity for growth, right? So even all those negative things that happen, you're like, oh my God, why did that deal go sideways? I'm like losing my mind right now. They're all, and if you change the way you look at the situation changes, and if you just look at them for opportunities for growth, it'll change. The situation will totally change.
I love that. So so everyone's got to remember that.
Another freaking opportunity for growth.
I love that. I love that.
I know.
So tell us, if someone's watching right now who is maybe either considering getting into real estate, or is already a real estate agent but just hasn't done a lot with it, what advice would you give them?
That's a good question. Well, first of all, you don't have to be great to get started, but you have to get started to be great.
Yes, and everything. That's so
yeah. Yeah. So I would start there, and I would say, don't get caught in your story. So much of this business, right? We get caught up in a story of like, I'm not good enough. I don't know enough. I'm not this, or whatever story we have playing. And it's just like, they let fear get in the way, and fear stands for, false evidence appearing real. And so it's just it's inspired action, right? It goes back to everything that I'm saying. My message, right, is take inspired action and just go. And you know what? Even if you fall on your face, you're at least making forward progress, right? And I tell, people on my team, like, I want you to fail massively. And they're like, what? Yeah. Because the more you fail, right, it's a numbers game, right? Knock on 100 doors. And you know what? You're going to get the door slammed, and people are going to take a hike or whatever, but it's a numbers game. You're going to have somebody. When I first started this business, I didn't know like what I didn't know. My third door knock, turned out to be a $6 million swing. They sold their house for like $2 million, bought a $4 million house. Oh, wow. And I did not know what I was doing. So I say just like forward progress, and just, go.
I love
just
that.
Take inspired action.
Yeah, failing forward is, and the false evidence appearing real. I think I pretty much tell myself that every day.
Yes. Yeah. We're all a work in progress. I still do it.
Definitely.
I still do it.
And I know you have an amazing team. So tell us about what you see. What is your vision for the future of your company?
Mm-hmm. So again, what I'd like to do is continue to build my team on people who can inspire, right? Who don't just take this as a job, right? That they want to make a difference. Yeah. And, we've had so much success doing it this way. And so, I want to continue to build that and to grow that. And, to share that, so we can, create, like I said, create a vision, set an intention, and take inspired action, and just build a team doing that.
Yeah, I think one of the reasons, I know you're so good at what you do, but I think because you have such a give back mentality, that when we give back to anyone or a potential client, even if we can't end up helping them, just because we give back to them in a healthy way, like you do, I know you do, I've seen you do it, the opportunities just come. It's just there. And okay, so you walked on my stage this past September as one of the amazing, incredible models, and you got to wear actually one of the beautiful designs. Yeah, that was incredible. That dress was amazing by Cherie Elizabeth, and it was for American Heart.
Stunning Cherie Elizabeth. Yes.
Yes, it's stunning, Cherie. We love her, and you are so giving. You're at all of your. You always have events that are giving back to some organization, or you did things for the firemen when the fires were going on. JoJo was literally out there in a freaking hat and shorts, and it was hot, and she was out there getting food and just making a difference. Mm-hmm. You're amazing. So tell us, You have a giving heart. So what we want to know from you, where do you think that came from, and what has inspired that to grow into such a big give back?
Um, Actually, some of it is the whole paying forward mentality, but I actually get more out of giving than I do receiving. And so when I do those things, again, it goes all back to energy, right? And so when you are giving back to community, and it fills my tank, right? It goes back to, and then what I'm doing is then energetically attracting better things in my life. Just what you said, like when you do that, it automatically comes to you, and that's because you're shifting the whole energy, right? It's out there. It's quantum physics, right? There is science to it, believe it or not. A lot of people think it's like all woo woo, and you know, but there is. And so for me, it fills my tank. I love giving back. It's, again, that inspires people. I'm inspired by people, and we just start that flow and
Yeah.
that amazing energy.
And it's interesting because the way we met, and I look at it like a pure, God thing, because you happen to be at Renaissance that day, and I just happened to be walking by at that exact moment. And I don't know, you were trying on something. I was like, that's so cute. And I loved your energy. We started to, and this was back in, like, I don't know, last June, I think it was. And then we've become friends, and you ended up walking on the stage and finding out, wow, God is amazing how he puts the people in our path and how we will attract. So again, you're giving, I'm giving, it's about philanthropy. And so I'm blessed that he placed you in my path.
Yeah.
In my path. So thank you for.
Yes, I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful as well. You're an inspiration. Like I said, you inspire me, and to inspire others. And it's all a beautiful cycle. It's a beautiful cycle, and there's no coincidence that we met that day, right? There's no coincidence, because the things that we have done together since then have been amazing, and the people that we've introduced to one another throughout this process, right? You can't ignore that, like, right? That's divine, right?
Totally.
Yes, exactly. So you've been such an inspiration to me, and I'm so grateful for this opportunity, and for getting involved in your organization, and I've introduced to you like Miracles for Kids, some other organizations I've done, and of course IWOC, which is Inspiring Women of Orange County. So I'm I hold near and dear my women's empowerment group. Yes. And we get these amazing women together and just do things like this, and have speakers, because if you're not sharing that information and sharing your gifts, it's a sin. It's a sin. Like, it really is. And so, and unfortunately, so much of our society, we have women competing, right? It's women competing instead of supporting and lifting one another up. And so, it's another one of my passion projects, is to get women like you and, all these amazing women to get together to support each other. And together we're like unstoppable.
Doesn't it? It feels so good. I know a few weeks ago, I was getting, I was texting, I don't know if I was texting you, Winnie, whoever I was texting, and you guys were texting back. And my first thought was, it's so amazing to have women in my life who are lifting up constantly.
Yes.
It's such a difference in tearing down. And I love the organizations that you're involved in. You and I we actually need to talk about doing another fashion gala to raise money for a different organization, because I think you and I could.
Absolutely. I'm actually doing it's going to raise money for Miracles for Kids, but a new listing that I have, it's 1752 East Ocean Front in Newport Beach. It's 24 million. It's amazing. And we're going to do an event there it's sort of an open house, and we're going to have some different vendors there and whatnot. And we're going to be raising money for Miracles for Kids. So it's not only helping me with showcasing this amazing property, but it's also going to benefit an amazing charity.
I think that's fabulous. I can't wait.
Yes, it's another excuse to sit and watch sunset and have a cocktail in an amazing house. Yeah.
Well, tell everyone how they can reach out to you, whether it's on your email, because I know I get an email from you all the time about all your new listings, going on. So, or your social media. So tell us how they can reach out.
Yes. So of course you can DM me, and my Instagram is jojo_Romeo. And I have a website that's jojoromeo.com. And my email address is jojoromeo@certereproperties.com.
That's great.
Yeah.
So, okay, so I've been leaving everyone with a challenge of some sort. Whatever, whoever the influencer that I'm talking with, we've left them with some tidbit. So what kind of challenge can we think of today for our viewers to not only do, but then reach out to you or reach out to me and let us know, okay, I did this challenge.
Okay. I just off the top of my head, two things.
Okay.
One, I would say create some time every day to devote to yourself in meditation, right? Or quiet time to devote to yourself and create that space, right? Start your day with that energy. The second thing is to go through your house, clean out that closet or that clutter, and be mindful as you're walking through your house of what doesn't feel good, because your body's very intelligent. It will tell you. It will tell you. And so, and be thinking, like, when you want people to come over, you want them to feel like a warm hug, right? So make some subtle changes in your home to make a difference. And if you have any questions about how to do that, please contact me. I would love to help.
Okay, those are excellent challenges. Those are 2 challenges from JoJo. Please, accept the challenge and then reach out to us and let us know what you did in the home that makes a difference, or what you're doing to spend that quality time with yourself, probably, maybe in the morning starting your day, or whenever your day starts. We'd love to hear from you. So thank you, JoJo.
Yes, I'm so excited. Thank you.
Thank you so much for being on here today.
Of course.
You gave us lots of good information, and I know you've inspired others to inspire change, because that is what this Elevate Your Style series is all about.
Mm-hmm.
Really inspiring change and showing up powerfully. So thank you again. We thank all of our viewers for watching.
Thank you. Thank you.
Go out, reach her challenge, and then have $1 million day. Okay.
Perfect. Thank you. Bye-bye.